I am a guy that used to have very, very long hair. I was a groomsman in my friend's wedding. About 6 months after the wedding, I cut my hair off. It's now about a year later and his wife still gives me crap for not having cut it for their wedding. I tell her I'll cut it for her next one. Aw, I love that. That's really funny. That's really funny. I would like to see this hair though. Like if it's completely a mop, just like a total mess. I do understand. I mean, grooming is a thing, so you should try to look nice. And if that means like getting a little bit of a haircut, I understand that. But at the same time, I mean, it's like still his hair. Like he can choose whether or not he wants it. So 6 out of 10, bridezilla, not too bad. I had a friend that threw a temper tantrum complete with screaming and foot stomping because her grandma had the audacity to die a few hours before her wedding. Oh, I shouldn't laugh, that's bad. She said it would throw off the seating arrangements. Because now there is a big empty space. She's currently halfway through her second divorce. Could have seen that one coming a mile away. Oh, this is so stupid. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, she's halfway through her second divorce. So what does that say? Poor grandma. Oh my god. That's horrible. Just imagine having a tantrum because your own grandma had the audacity to die hours before the wedding. Oh, that's so sad. A good friend of mine was a bridesmaid for a girl who had lost her mind over the course of her planning in her pursuit of ceremonial perfection. Her escalating decrees included: number 1, no bridesmaid was allowed to wear pink makeup because the bride didn't like it. My friend had dark brown skin and pinks were pretty much the only colors that would work for her. Number 2, the bridesmaid had to coordinate the heel height so they would all appear to be the same height. My friend was 5'2". The tallest bridesmaid is 5'9". Oh. I don't know how that's gonna work. She wanted my friend to wear 7-inch stilettos for an outdoor wedding. Whoa. Number 3, the bride expected all her bridesmaids to abstain from eating night before surgery style until after the wedding was over, so there was no unsavory stomach bulges. That's kind of offensive. Number 4, my personal favorite, the bride wanted all the bridesmaids to stay in a tent in her backyard for the night following the wedding, so they would be early to set up for the present opening. I mean, now that's something I would not go to. How are you gonna make all the bridesmaids the same height as well? Like one of them is 5'2", one of them is 5'9". That's crazy.
My best friend left me out of her bridal party because I was overweight and her mother thought that that would limit bridesmaid dress choices and throw the wedding photos off. Sorry, so what you mean to say is your ex-best friend left you out of the bridal party because there is no way I could ever talk to that person again. Oh my god. I get that it's your special day, but good, wow, that's mean. You got a mean mom. You got a mean mom telling you can't have your best friend because she's gonna throw off. They make dresses for everybody. Oh, I'm sorry, that sucks, actually. The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. Wait, what? Never mind that it was her third marriage and that the first 2 ended due to her own infidelity, while marriage number 3 ended the same way, but at least the groom and his friend worked past it and are still best friend. What the? Dude, how is that not the sign immediately that this marriage is not going to work out? If she says your best friend can't come because he gets it, because your best friend gets it every now and again, because your best friend found a woman he loves and chose to share his life with her, but he didn't do it in front of an altar, so I guess he's the devil.
I guess that makes me the devil.
That is nuts. I mean, I'm glad like they could work it out, but oh my god. I had already been to 3 dress fittings with a bride when at the last minute she scheduled a 4th fitting for herself on the same day my sister was coming into town. I told the bride that we were having a family dinner and she responded that I needed to make her the priority instead. Bridezilla behavior. When I told her I couldn't just drop everything, she told me that in that case I was no longer required to be a bridesmaid. Holy shh, don't swear. I didn't even get an invitation to the wedding. Oh my god. That is unbelievable entitled behavior. That is like spoiled little kid throwing a tantrum at their 6th birthday behavior. What? I get that you want your wedding to be beautiful. You want your wedding to be this big moment. You know, for some people, the wedding, it's something they've thought about their whole life. They've really fantasized about it. But you don't get to treat people like that. Ah!
I'd be standing there at the altar and be like, oh my god, the alarm bell is just going off in my brain. Like, what the hell have I got myself into? Can I hug my ex-boyfriend one final time? Like, this day is not even remotely about that guy. Why do you even remember that guy? You know, it's like, why is that guy even here? Like, what is he doing here right now? Like, what? Holy. Okay, so the bride stopped talking to me immediately after her wedding because I had a terrible cold the day of her wedding and had to go rest in my room halfway through setting up her wedding decorations, which we bridesmaids made without her help. Hold up, so like that was... Dude, get out of here. Literally get out of here. Like, I get it. You're the bride. It's your wedding day. But like, come on. Your friend is sick right now. She's trying to get through this. I guarantee if this was like not your wedding, not something so serious, she wouldn't even be going. You know, it's like she'd probably be calling in sick to work right now. So like, just chill.
I shouldn't have come.
The bride was goth, so she insisted on having her wedding as close to Halloween as possible, which is fine, except that she expected all her bridesmaids to learn calligraphy and handwrite all her invitations. We even got hand cramps and burns on our fingers from having to seal them with hot wax. Dude, what is it about, like, it's just like they're your bridesmaids. They're not your freaking like workers right now. Like, you're not paying them, you know, like you don't have them under contract. Like, you've asked them to be your bridesmaids. They're there to help you and support you as you get married, but they're not here to do all your freaking chores and work for you and like learn freaking calligraphy. Honestly, if I ever get married and I have groomsmen and stuff like that, I'm always just like, take me to a football game, like let's get kind of drunk, that's it, like we're good. Ridiculous. The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. Wait a second, wait. The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. Never mind that it was her third marriage and that the first two ended due to her own infidelity. Well, marriage number 3 ended the same way, but at least the groom and his friend worked past it and are still best friends. Yo, like, no. And frankly, like, you know what, I want to put this on the bride, and it obviously is. But if you're the groom, and she's doing that, and you're looking at her history and being like, hey, well, you cheated on him, you're kicking my best friend out of my wedding too, this is my wedding as well. No. Big red flags.
I'm not a bridesmaid, but my mom was a wedding photographer for many years. Long story short, the father of the bride had a heart attack and he was being carried out on a stretcher, and the sobbing bride yells, "How could you ruin my wedding like this?" Oh my god. Wow. That is a 10 out of 10 bridezilla, like 100%. Just the fact that she's blaming someone for having a heart attack is ridiculous. I mean, as if he like planned it or something. God, that's so funny. Bride was blonde. All bridesmaids except for me were brunette. She asked me to dye my hair brown for the wedding because she wanted to be the only blonde. Oh my gosh, the entitlement, the audacity, just there's so much wrong with this. I suggested that I just give up my bridesmaid's spot. Thankful to this day, I heard the dresses and bachelorette party cost all the other girls more money than I make in a month. Is that? I feel like that's really bad when the bride and groom sort of make everyone else pay for the wedding. I understand pitching in a little bit, but yeah, just to have them pay like thousands, just like fork out all this money for not even their special day, someone else's special day. I mean, I don't really get that. Not so much a pre-wedding bridezilla story, but during. I was a bridesmaid in my older brother's wedding. I had 2 effing drinks at the wedding. 2. I felt fine. My sister-in-law got mad because in one of the wedding photos, there's one of me kissing a family friend of 15 years on the cheek because I haven't seen them in a while. It was such a nice picture too. The B said that it was inappropriate and she hasn't shown the wedding photos from the reception to anyone because she was drinking at my wedding and ruined some of the pictures. Wow. That's pretty awkward. I don't really know what's inappropriate about that. Like, they're just kissing a family friend on the cheek. I mean, also, is 2 drinks really drunk? Kind of depends. It kind of depends, but I really doubt whatever happened there was enough to ruin an entire set of wedding photos. That's kind of ridiculous. Similar story. At a wedding I went to, the bride replaced a bridesmaid of hers at the last minute because she dyed her hair a slightly lighter brown the night before. Apparently, it didn't match the dress, which was bright pink. Are these people really your friends if you can kick them out over their hair color? It's just so silly. And it's like, at this point, you have to sort of wonder, I feel like people are having weddings just for the aesthetic of weddings and they're not really having a marriage. I mean, if you can kick someone out because she lightly toned her hair a different color, was that really your friend? It's so silly. Oh my gosh. It's like a spectacle, these weddings. My sister-in-law was a self-centered a-hole for about 6 months, with her coup de grace being the wedding day. I know it was all nerves, but I don't harbor any grudges. But I wouldn't relive that day for all the money in the world. My strongest memory is her holding a bag of her and screaming on the church steps, "Why am I holding something? Will someone explain to me why I am holding something on my effing wedding day? Someone better take this out of my hands immediately." Oh my gosh. Sounds kind of like an a-hole, actually. I do understand the pressure of it. A lot of these seem like the bridesmaids are under pressure because they have really big expectations and they're thinking of a million things, but nothing kills the magic of the day more than like snapping at people like that, yelling at them and like demanding that they do things for you. It's just, I don't know, that's not gonna make anyone treasure that memory exactly.
I was pregnant and was asked to be in a family member's wedding, which was 4 weeks from my due date. Well, I went out of state to visit my significant other's family when I was 6 months pregnant, and I received a scathing group email from her, accusing me of not being committed to the wedding because I was out spending money on a pointless vacation and baby stuff instead of ordering my dress. At that point, I knew I needed to get, girl, really? At that point, I knew I needed to get out. So I replied all that it would probably be best if I dropped out as a bridesmaid, and her sister-in-law, who was also pregnant, by the way, chimed in saying, "Don't bother. We all know you got pregnant on purpose as an excuse to not be a committed member of this family." That is definitely why someone chooses to bring a life into this world. The only reason why you could possibly conceive of having a child is to skirt out on family stuff.
She's right, I had my second kid just for the vacation. Right.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to skip Thanksgiving, and the easiest way to do that is to spend 9 months carrying a human being inside my body. I'm glad these are just stories, because if I had to like associate faces with these, I think I would blow a blood vessel. The bride stopped talking to me immediately after her wedding because I had a terrible cold the day of her wedding and had to go rest in my room halfway through setting up her wedding decorations, which we bridesmaids made without her help. Well, yeah, you're so inconsiderate. You just had to get sick. You couldn't have a strong immune system. You couldn't be popping vitamin 12 all day and keep a virus out. You are just so inconsiderate. You should have been down there and you should have been spreading whatever sickness or cold you had to everybody in the wedding party. That's what a good friend would have done. God, the nerve of some people. The nerve. I was the maid of honor for my brother's wedding, in which he and his bride told me they had hired a professional photographer for the wedding. So I went above and beyond to make myself up for the photos, only to find out that they hadn't actually hired a photographer. They expected me to take all the wedding photos. I'm not even a photographer, not even close.
Not even close. Not even a little bit.
That is awful. Why would they tell you they hired a professional photographer if it was just you? Were they just trying to gas you up and they were doing it in the single worst way possible? Oh my God. Oh my God, my God, my God. My wife's best friend is a florist, and she gifted her service to her friend's wedding. Well, afterward, the bride and her ma got pissy at her because she didn't give them an additional gift. Let's conveniently forget the $1,000 in floral products she gifted to the wedding. It's a rift that has never been healed. Yeah, that's annoying. The bride and her mom, because she didn't give them enough presents. $1,000 just wasn't enough presents. Every single one of these sounds like a spoiled 8-year-old, man. This is wild to me how people get bridezillas, man, no kidding. After the ceremony was over, the bride informed us that in order to save money, the wedding party would not be served a meal along with the rest of the guests. She said, "You already had the privilege of being in my wedding. What more can you ask for?" I love that undeserved confidence. I love that incredibly smug aura.
So smug. Like he thought it was funny, like this.
And by love, I mean I actually hate that. Come on, man. I came to the wedding. You don't think I want a plate of chicken or fish? You don't think I'm hungry too? I had to stand in a wedding for like an hour and a half. I'm probably working up a real hunger. Oh, I don't want to go to any of these people's weddings.
She had a bachelorette party the same weekend as my birthday, but we weren't allowed to do anything for my birthday on the trip, not even mention it. Well, on my actual birthday, some of my friends got some balloons and a little cake from the hotel. They tried to keep it a secret, but Bridezilla came into the room, saw everything, went completely silent, then walked out, pissed. Well, Bridezilla, I will not be attending your wedding anymore. Why can this not be a joint affair right now? It's like, oh yeah, also my birthday, like you're getting married. Hopefully that only happens once, you know? So it's like, yes, I understand. Like, this is the big thing that we're doing, but my birthday comes along once a year. Like, can we not get a few shots, celebrate, and have some cake while you're doing that? No. It was 10 degrees Fahrenheit in February, and the bride insisted on outdoor photos without coats because we can't hide the dresses. Even the photographer told her no, and she pitched a fit. Years later, she still complains about her bridesmaids ruined her wedding. How does that, no, lady, like, it's just like, don't have your freaking wedding in February if you wanna, like, get all these nice pictures, you know, that's why people have their weddings in the summer, like, it's wedding season right now, you know, it's like, people like to have them at this time, because they don't want to have them in February, because they don't want to freeze off, so you know what, you did that to you. The bride was blonde, and all the bridesmaids were brunette except me. So the bride asked me to dye my hair brown for the wedding because she wanted to be the only blonde. Okay, I mean, like, it's not as, I guess she asked, so it's not as ridiculous as like some of the other ones where they're demanding. It's still stupid and crazy. Like, it's still like, I don't know why your brain would even go there. But like, maybe if you were thinking like, oh, we could take such cool photos if like I'm the, no, you know what, actually no, it's just weird. I was trying to justify it, I'm just like, well, like, that's just, you're thinking too much, lady. The final straw for me was when the bride demanded to see the toast I'd written so she could edit it. She ended up rewriting it all together, and I ended up skipping her wedding. Like, I think I can understand it, like a toast just being like, hey, like, just to tell you, I don't want to write this for you, but like, my family, my grandparents are gonna be there, so like, maybe leave that story out about like how we were doing that thing, which they wouldn't like, you know, I could understand something like that, but to go in, to edit it, to rewrite it, no. Like, you're lucky I'm taking the time to even write this for you at all, you know?
You should be grateful.
I don't know if this counts, but my best friend's brother married a woman that literally just used him for a wedding. He was a long time, over 40-year-old, nerdy but successful single guy who was suddenly engaged to this very outgoing woman who planned a huge, elaborate, and expensive wedding that she micromanaged down to the last detail. My friend was a bridesmaid and went through all kinds of crap. And then about 2 months after the wedding, this poor guy comes home to a half-empty house and a note that says she didn't want to be married after all. I'm not normally a violent person, but I could seriously punch this woman in the face. Yeah, wow, that's rough. That's what I mean. I was like, I think people just like weddings. I don't think that they're doing it for marriage, and this person certainly sounds like it. She obviously did it for attention or something. I mean, when you're getting married, all eyes are on you, and it's your special day, and it's supposed to be, you know, the day where you dress like a princess, feel like a princess, and obviously, you know, this guy had a little bit of money and she probably did it for that reason too. And it's so sad, like only 2 months later she was gone, so she didn't really want to be with him in the first place. My bridezilla friend told me I wasn't allowed to take pain medication for my lupus at her wedding. She was afraid I'd be too out of it to perform my maid of honor duties. 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. is a long time to be on your feet without a break and without pain meds. I sent them off to their honeymoon and drove 8 hours home in a misery. What kind of friends do these people have? Just kind of like horrible behavior. I just don't know what sort of switch flips when like women become brides and they just have all these ridiculously outlandish expectations that they throw on their friends. It's like, what is it? And like, are there any warning signs that we could have foreseen that someone's gonna be a massive bridezilla? I don't know.
The final straw for me was when the bride demanded to see the toast I'd written so she could edit it. She ended up rewriting it all together, and I ended up skipping her wedding. Why even ask for a toast then? Why not just write out the script? Why not just send out the script for your wedding if that's what you're looking for? Let's keep going, man. My best friend just got kicked out of a wedding party because she couldn't afford to spend the $1,500 to go to the bachelorette party. The bride told her to take out a credit card to pay for it. Oh, bitch. Didn't mean to. You pay for it. You pay for it if it's that important. You're clearly throwing money around. If anyone ever asked me to spend $1,500 on top of I can't even talk. I can't even form a sentence. This stuff is making my blood boil. That was making my hair stand on end. That was making my blood pressure rise. That was making my shoe size shrink. Oh my God. I am lucky that I don't know any of these women. Be thankful we don't have to go to any of these weddings, my top 10 central gang. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Keep it real. Oof, these are taking life off me. These are bridezillas. The video title was not kidding whatsoever. I promise if I ever get married, it'll be the most chill, laid back affair. You know what? Be a couple fellas, couple fillies, and we'll all just we'll sit back and we'll have a good time and we'll listen to, I don't know, Mr. Brightside, and we'll dance and we'll smooch after it. We're not gonna do any of this stuff. Okay, back to the content. This is taking like life out of me. All right, can we see this one? You want me to zoom in a little bit? Do I not know how zooming works? Why is zooming in zooming out? Did they change what zooming in means recently? There's like a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot of zooming. This new Zoom update, it's crazy. Okay, shut up. This is the worst rambling and worst. You got nothing, man. You got nothing. Okay, get back to reading. Why is that what a 500% zoom in looks like? Or is that a 500% zoom out? Am I that technologically illiterate? Okay, I don't understand. I don't understand how these machines claim to work. I don't talk to the machine spirits. I just sit in the chair and I react. You ask me to do anything outside of that skill set and I struggle. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here.
My best friend left me out of her bridal party because I was overweight and her mother thought that would limit bridesmaids' dress choices and throw the wedding photos off. That's not your best friend anymore. Is what I gotta say about that. That's literally just not your best friend anymore. Like, if that is your best friend, then that just doesn't happen. And it did happen, and I'm very sorry, and wow, they suck. My wife's best friend is a florist, and she gifted her services to her friend's wedding. Well, afterward, the bride and her mom got pissy at her because she didn't give them an additional gift. Let's conveniently forget the $1,000 in floral products she gifted to the wedding. It's a rift that's never been healed. So hold up, they're not even paying? So my wife's best friend is a florist and she gifted her, oh okay, so a friend's wedding, she gifted $1,000 of flowers and floral products. No, why? Like, why would you, I mean, like, that is such an incredible gesture, and then to get, dude, people are so entitled. How could you possibly be this entitled? If somebody literally was like, I'm just gonna give you $1,000 in flowers, I'd be like, oh my God, like, you are an angel with 2 halos. You know, like, I don't expect anything from you. I'd be getting them something. You know, I'd literally be getting them something as a gift to thank them for that. Like, get out of here. I couldn't attend my friend's last-minute destination wedding because I had to travel to visit my dad, who was dying of cancer, to handle hospice arrangements. She was pissed and tried to guilt trip me because I couldn't afford both plane flights. That was the end of our friendship. Yeah, that would definitely be it for me as well. Like, this is just not a person who, like, this is not a nice person. You know, it's like they have to be the center of attention at all times. And like, I get it, like, your wedding's very important. But 1, it was last minute. 2, it was destination. And 3, her dad is dying of cancer. And like, just literally priorities. You know, like, just priorities. Wow.